Good evening. Hope you had a wonderful start of the weekend, Friday evening. And we are in Exodus 22. And this chapter is dealing with various laws handed by Moses. But there's one that really stuck out to me. And there's a backstory to this. So I saw an old classic 1958, 1957 Broadway show at the Lyric Opera tonight, The West Side Story by Leonard Bernstein. And I've never watched it, and I knew he was a prolific writer, but there was a song, and there were a few songs that really stuck with me as far as why some youths, some young people, adolescents are delinquents. And the name of the song is G Officer Krupke. And there's a big, story about, there were two gangs fighting and what have you. But the bottom line was that the young people were saying, it's not our fault. And some of the lyrics said, we never had the love that every child ought to get. These are some of the words to the song. We ain't no delinquents. We're misunderstood. Deep down inside, there is good. And they start off saying, you got to understand, it's just our bringing that gets us out of hand. Our mothers were junkies. Our fathers were drunks. Now, we're not here to judge, but we can say that somehow this, in some situations, is still appropriate 50 years afterwards, right? Almost 61 years afterwards. We see this in 2019. It's not really the young people's fault, right? And there's a line where one of the gang members said, we didn't mess up this world. We were just brought here the way it was or is. My parents treat me rough with all their marijuana. They won't give me a puff. They didn't want to have me. They're feeling that rejection, but somehow I was had. Leaping lizards. That's why I'm so bad. What does this have to do with Exodus 22? There's a scripture where it says in verse 22, ye shall not afflict any widow. When you know there has been a loss of a loved one, but then the last part of this verse says, or fatherless child. How many young people are without their male leaders, their paternal seed, their leaders, their examples in the home? So many. In Psalms 94:6, I believe, it says, they slay the widow and the stranger and murder the fatherless. What are they talking about? The wicked. We do not want to be guilty of that. We have to especially love our children, our teenagers, our young people, our young adults who are without, especially if there is a single parent in their home. A lot of times they don't even have that one single parent, that solid parent, and they don't have the advantages of having so many, a village. So what are we to do? We are to show the grace of God, the loving kindness, because they're ultimately the Lord's. Amen. So let us make sure that we are showering so that we won't be the reason why so many of them are doing craziness, madness this summer out in the streets with violence and showing the ills of society. No, we want to show the grace of God in every way. I hope you have a wonderful evening, enjoying rest and enjoying the comforts of God's love. Good night.